Hello and welcome to this unboxing and kind of review of the new model for Space Marine or Adeptus Astartes Blood Angels Sanguinary Priest. It's a new model, it's £18, it's a lot of money. That's the way they're going with these clamshell plastic sprue models now. £18. How much do you value that sprue of plastic right there? In terms of actually physical value, the plastic's probably in pence, but then you've got to factor in the production and the mould and lots of other things. But either way, it is what it is. How do we open this? Well, it would be nice if they included a nicer way to open it. Or am I just being very, very stupid? I don't see a viable way of opening these clamshells without destroying things. So what I will do is use my trusty plastic clamshell opener and gently cut the top off, like so. And as they always say, remember, if you're a child, you may need to get an adult to assist you. Well, they wouldn't need to assist if you didn't make it so damn hard to get into your products. So, managed to get in without damaging the model and without damaging that nice reference picture, which we all use when we're thinking about painting a model. So, but now of course I'm going to have to keep this somewhere else, because if I kept it in here, probably going to fall out and I'm probably going to lose it. So I think for £18 they could at least give you a cardboard box. They're both recyclable, this and the cardboard, and I'd probably say that having the cardboard would actually be cheaper to produce and, you know, better on the environment, but who knows, because it'd use less energy to recycle it. Anyway, that's my little mini rant over, if you can have a mini rant on a one model video. But this is the sprue that you get. It looks like you get 10 pieces, 11 pieces, they're numbered as well, 1 through to 11. So you get kind of like a front-facing torso. Someone's going to correct me, it's not a chainsword, I know. It's some kind of redeemer blade, or I've totally forgotten what it's called. I will look it up though, I promise. I'm a bit of a fail at that at the moment. It's like a biting blade, but it's like a double-edged chainsword. And you get the front, and you get his face, and it doesn't seem like you get the helmet though. They've kind of cheated you out of a helmet. How rude. That's not what I was expecting. I thought they would have at least given you the helmet that's in the codex. So they're giving you a model with only the helmetless head, which I think is a bit disgusting really. For £18 I think they should have at least given you an option of having the helmet on or off. So that's interesting that it's almost £20 for that. So that's where the hobby's going. I don't want to, turn it into a big bash the Games Workshop hobby, because we all know it's expensive, but now it's getting a little bit ridiculous. Anyway, on that positive note, please join me in part 2 if you're still watching, where you'll see it completed and in its glory. And welcome to part 2. Here we have the finished brand new Sanguinary Priest. I'll just zoom in a little bit for you. We're almost at the destination. Oh yes, there we go. Hopefully you can see him quite well detailed. I like the new bases. I don't know, it just brings something more to the model. Pretty large models now with these 30mm bases. I'll hold it up for you. There you go. Should be able to see that. quite well. Can zoom in a little bit further maybe. I think that's about as close as we're going to get, which is still quite close really. So as you can see, plenty of detail there. You can see where I've tried to shave off some of the mould lines and failed. You can see where he's glued, so I need a bit of filing to do on him, but yeah, he's okay. He's an alright pose. I'll show you him compared to here's one I made earlier, really. So that's the new model. Difficulty in assembly, I'd give it probably a 1 out of 5, if not a 2. Ever so simple. Not very many pieces. You've seen the start of the video. It's just literally a small sprue. This is him next to the old model. He dwarfs him. I've only just noticed, but he absolutely does dwarf him. I mean, he's look at that. He's a little bit bigger, isn't he? Maybe it's the cloak, maybe it's the Game of Thrones kind of headpiece thing. I don't know. Maybe it's the biting blade or whatever you want to call it. It just looks, there's just much more of a presence with him compared to the old model. The old model's quite cool, but the new model is definitely better looking. Definitely, in my opinion, that is, of course. But you can see the difference in the bases. I think it works. I really do. I really like the new base. It really works for this model. So there you go. That's kind of like the sprue and the assembly of the model. I think it's a great looking model, I really do. But the real question is it worth your hard-earned cash? If you're a Blood Angels player and you use Sanguinary Priests, kind of has to be, doesn't it? But because it is a nice model too. But I don't like where they're going with this £18 for one plastic model. I really don't. If you ask anybody, well, I'm guessing that most people feel the same way. £18 for one plastic miniature, regardless of how good it looks, it's still £18. I mean, I will moan about that until the cows come home. I really will, because back in the day it's like 10 quid for 10, you know, Space Marines. I know it's Space Marines, I know they're completely mass produced, but it's not like this dude is, you know, limited edition or anything. He's still kind of mass produced. I just think that it's a huge amount of money for one plastic miniature, and it next year, maybe the year after, it's only going to take a little while before they break that £20 boundary for one plastic miniature, and then we're seriously in trouble. But yeah. So yeah, that's my review. Do I think it's worth it? That's really up to you, because it's your money. If you want to spend £20 on a single plastic miniature, then you can do that. But they're really at the breaking point here of what people will be prepared to pay, in my opinion. I mean, I like the model, I really do, and I like to talk about the model, but you can't talk about the model without talking about the price, because the price is kind of like the entry fee for the model. You won't get the model unless you pay the money. So I can't wait to paint him though. He's pretty cool, and he'll look really awesome with my army. But anyway, that's kind of like my unboxing and review. What do you think? £18 for one miniature? Put it down below. Thanks ever so much for watching today. Take care. And remember, the Emperor protects.